I have just filmed my 2019 beauty favourites. So this is kind of like a part 2 of that video. I'm going to apply my favourite products. You can see what they look like, see how well they apply, and I've obviously just filmed applying them. I could ramble on about how much I love these things for so long. 2019 has been an amazing year for beauty, so I feel like this is a really good favourite, and in a year's time I'll film a 2020 favourite and we'll see how that compares. I feel like there's going to be lots of new makeup in 2020, so we'll see in a year's time how I've got on with yet more amazing makeup. But for now, have a look at my 2019 favourites and let me know what yours are. So let's get started with using some of this makeup. I have prepped my skin already using some of the skincare products that I mentioned in my 2019 favourites video. So I thought there's no point showing you those being applied because you all know how skincare works, but check out my video to see skincare, hair care, those kinds of products. I'm going to go right in and get started with the makeup. So I have to start with my favourite foundation, and I can see this being in next year's favourites as well. It is, of course, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have a shade 2, but I do need to pick up a slightly darker shade. That's just completely my fault for not going to see these in person and just guessing and ordering online. But I will at some point. I mean, it's not too bad, but as soon as I put a little bit of tan on, it does look very pale. It is quite pale though. But I just love it so much. It makes my skin look so smooth and flawless and matte, but not too matte. It's perfect. I love the amount of coverage it gives as well. I honestly just can't even begin to describe how much I love this foundation. This is everything I want in a foundation, I think. So now that that's blended out, I'm going to go in with some concealer. I feel like a lot of these favourites just aren't going to be a surprise because I've used them in other videos, and this is one that I've definitely used in other videos because I love it. It's the Iconic London Seamless Concealer. I have the shade Light Cream, and this is a slightly darker shade than the foundation. It's just slightly more warm toned as well. So I'm using it just to kind of warm up the colour a little bit, but the coverage is great. It's really easy to blend, really creamy, very flawless. I wouldn't say it's the most full coverage concealer in my collection, but it's pretty good and I think it does a really good job. And I've used it to death. I mean, I probably could do with getting another one already. So that to me says that it really deserves its spot in my favourites. I've had another concealer favourite this year, which I don't know if I've mentioned before. It's the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer by Urban Decay, and this is the shade 20 CP. And this is the one that since it came out, which was a few months ago now, I probably could do with getting another one already. I've used it to death. I find it so good around my eyes. I feel like it gives me a really good amount of coverage, and I do feel like there is a slight colour correcting element in there. So I have this in another shade. I have this in a slightly warmer kind of pink tone, but I can't find it anywhere, typical. I was looking for it yesterday when I was, prepping for this. I was looking for it this morning, couldn't find it anywhere. But I'll try and remember what shade that is because that's even better for around my eyes. But this does, it does the job. But I did pick up like specifically a pink undertone in this same concealer for around my eyes. But I mean, look at that. So smooth and flawless. I absolutely love this. So the powder that I've been using all year isn't a 2019 favourite. I've used this for years and years now, but I haven't discovered another powder that I love as much. It's the Charlotte Tilbury, what's this called? Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, shade 1. And I did buy the loose powder that she came out with, which I really love, but it stinks. Like, it's got a real, like a plasticky sort of smell to it. And I've seen that in a lot of reviews as well, so it's not just me buying like a slightly dodgy batch or something. And it does put me off using it. I'm really sensitive to smells, and for that reason as well, I wouldn't use it on my clients, because I just think, it is on your face. And if you are quite sensitive to smell, it's just not the best. So, I mean, if they do something about that, that for sure will go in my 2020 favourites because I love that powder. But for me right now, nothing beats this one. I'm putting that all over because I do want to be quite matte. I'm going to use a glowy blush, which is something that I love to do. I love my face to be quite matte and then to have like a really glowy cheek and the rest of it quite matte, just to allow for my face to, you know, get a bit shiny as the day goes on. My skin's slightly oily. So I just put a light dusting of that all over and that is perfect. But like I said, that's not really a 2019 favourite because I've used that powder for I don't know how many years now, but we'll see. We'll see if 2020 brings me a better powder. Another favourite that I didn't expect to love, but I really, really do, is this by Huda Beauty. It is the Tantour. What does it say on the back? Shade Fair Contour and Bronzer Cream. And I feel like, you know the Chanel cream bronzer that everyone used to use? I'm sure people still do. That came out years and years and years ago. I feel like this is everything that I wanted that to be. I remember buying it at the time and it was just a little bit orange on me and your brush hairs used to get all stuck in it and it just wasn't quite what I was expecting. I remember I did like it and I had one that I used like all the way to the bottom of the container, but this is just so good. It's so easy to blend. The colour's so good. I would say it is dark. I mean, you can see how dark that is. So this is the lightest shade and I am pretty pale, so just bear in mind it does come out quite strong. But I love the tone. It is easy to blend out. If you keep going, you will blend that out and everything will be fine. But yeah, this is definitely a favourite this year. I can't remember when it came out. I think it was sometime in the summer, I'm gonna say. And I have worn this on a regular basis ever since then. Grumps, do you need a hug? This little lady who's come to say hi, yes you say hi, is my real 2019 favourite. I've had her for maybe 2 or 3 months now. All of my cats are rescued and adopted. And Grumps is the newest and she's the best. She's my real fave. Back to some makeup favourites. I'm gonna go in with my favourite face palette. It has to be this one, the Becca Khloe and Malika palette. So good, so good. I did pick this up discounted in TK Maxx and I'm really happy because I almost bought one full price. But to be honest, if I'd bought it full price, I wouldn't be annoyed because I feel like I've got good value for money out of this. I mean, if I can get it open, it's just my perfect colour palette. I love a peachy blush. That's kind of like a pinky peach, which again I really love to wear. A nice kind of subtle highlight and a subtle bronzer as well. I've just, you know, you can see how well loved that palette is. I'm gonna use it with this Fenty brush. This is the Fenty, the 190 bronzer brush. I think actually these are also a favourite. The Fenty brushes and also the Morphe Jeffree Star brushes. You know, everyone knows how important makeup brushes are, and those two ranges, I mean, I haven't really bought from any other brands this year for brushes. And I don't buy an awful lot of brushes because they will last you. You know, you're not going to be replacing your makeup brushes every year. But the brushes I have bought this year have been mostly from Fenty and the Morphe Jeffree Star range, and I've been so impressed with both. I just used the Jeffree Star foundation brush, so I'll link everything below. But this is fab. It's big, but the shape means you can still be quite precise. I love the colour. It looks so cute, like sat out on your dressing table. I've just been really pleased. And also these brushes do wash nicely, which is really important. It's nothing worse than getting a really nice brush and after one or two washes it's just all like out of shape and bristles coming out and everything. It's just no good. I'm not going to use the blush from that palette purely because I've recently acquired one that I've been absolutely loving. So it's just snuck in there at the end of 2019 into the favourites video. It is of course the Patrick Tar blush and the shade is She's Adorable. It's this peach with a little bit of gold shimmer, and I absolutely love it. love this kind of colour palette for blush. It suits most people and it looks really good on most people as well. But especially for my skin tone, peach is just so dreamy. I am very, very picky with highlighter. There are a lot of good ones, there are a lot that don't impress me. And this has to be my favourite for 2019. It's the Sleek Makeup, the individual highlighters. And purely because I was so excited about this. I love the Sleek highlight palettes, the Solstice palette I've bought again and again for me and for my kit. And it's just so nice to have one of the best shades from there bigger, because I do just use them to death. So thank you, Sleek, this has really helped me out. I bought some for my kit as well. I know there's some other shades, but this shade for my skin tone is exactly what I need. This is the shade Solstice Equinox, and it's just a nice neutral gold, really easy to wear. Absolutely love it. Moving on to eyes, I have discovered a new eye primer this year. I religiously used the Urban Decay ones back in the day, the primer potions in like the little genie shaped bottles. They were so cute. Then I moved on to using the Makeup Revolution Pro paint pot type of eye primers, and I have still been using those and I do really love them, but recently I've been absolutely loving the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, so I'm going to use that today, and that was a discovery for me this year. I don't know if it came out this year, but it's definitely new to me, and I just really, really love it. Just gives a really nice base for your eyeshadow. There's, you know, you can't fault it. I feel like I do need to try the Urban Decay ones again though. Makeup's just got so much better. Like 2019 has been an amazing year for makeup. There's been so many good products out. 15-year-old me who wanted to become a makeup artist but didn't know how and would just practice and practice in my bedroom at my mum's house would be chuffed to bits that you can go on so many different websites and buy professional quality makeup. You can go into a Boots, a Superdrug, and you can buy such good makeup now, whereas back then, when I was a teenager and an aspiring makeup artist, that just wasn't the case. Like, it was so hard to get your hands on good makeup. So yeah, just having the choice is brilliant. So yeah, I definitely want to go now, you know, more than 10 years later, go back and try the Urban Decay primers and see if I still love them so much. So that might be a good video actually. Maybe I'll do that over Christmas. So as you will have seen in my last video, I have 3 new favourites for eyes. I have the Jaclyn Hill palette, the Morphe Jeffree Star palette, and also this amazing loose pigment by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to use a combination of all 3, I think, so I can show you all of them. I'll start off with my Jeffree Star palette. So I'm going to start off with the shade 1985, which is this kind of subtle transition colour. So I'm going to pop that through my crease. Just really, really lightly, just to kind of guide where I'm going to be putting a deeper crease colour. So that's just super subtle, nothing major. Then I'm going to use the shade underneath it, Mr. Diva, which is this kind of mid-tone warm orangey brown. I feel like warm tones have still been really trendy this year. I think that was more of like a 2017, 2018 trend, but people have still been wearing it and it looks good. So let's do some warm tones today. Take that into my outer corner and just blend it up towards my brow. So that is looking nice and vibrant. Now I'm going to go in with this pink shade. It's called Back. The top row reads "Welcome back to my channel." So it's this kind of pale pink, and I'm going to start blending that over the lid, doing like a kind of sunset sort of vibe. And then I'm going to switch now to my Jaclyn Hill palette and just start deepening the eyes up a little bit. Oh, the neutrals in here are so pretty. I'm going to use this one, I think, on the top row. So again, it's a warm toned brown, but it's not quite as vibrant. I need the mirror from this palette for this. Taking a slightly deeper shade from the second row. So the top row are all quite light in this palette. The second row is where you get more of your blending colours from. And again, I'm just darkening that up. Everyone knows the drill on this. Getting a good blend on the eyes. I'm going to dip back into my Jeffree Star palette and use the shade Boss Angeles, which is this beautiful, beautiful, deep, warm toned brown. I love that kind of colour. And just put that right on the outer corners. So I'm going to use that same shade underneath my eyes. I'm going to put some liner under there. So this is just to give it like a little bit of softness under the eyes. So that is a little brighter than I expected, but this is still the kind of look that I have been wearing a lot this year. A little bit lighter, a little bit softer for daytime, but it is the evening, so bright it is. Gonna go in with some liner now. As you will have seen in my other video, I have two favourite liners this year. The Huda Beauty Life Liner I've used in a video already, so I'm gonna use the other one and show you that. It's the Too Faced Better Than Sex liner, and it is so good. This one's on its last legs, so I've actually just ordered another one. I found a really nice set on Cult Beauty, so I'll link that below. It's got a Better Than Sex mascara in it as well, and I love that mascara. It isn't a 2019 favourite because I've used it for years, it's just an all-time favourite. So I'm going to apply the liner off camera, put on some mascara, maybe put on some lashes. I don't have a lash favourite this year. My favourites are still the Peaches and Cream lashes that I've used for years. So I might find a pair of those or something to put on, and then I'll come back. So I'm back, done my brows with the It Cosmetics brow pencil that I mentioned in my favourites video. I've put some Melt Cosmetics Corrupt pencil liner underneath, the Too Faced liner on the top, and then I added my favourite Anastasia Beverly Hills pigment to the inner corners of my eyes and then to highlight the brow bone as well. And I've popped on some eyelaw lashes. So I'll link everything below and you can get some more detail, some more nerdy detail on my favourite products there in my previous video. So let's do lips. I don't think I've mentioned this in a video, but I definitely bought this year. This is new to me, but this wasn't released in 2019. It's one of the Kylie lip kits, and it's in the shade Cocoa K. And honestly, I have worn this to death. I bought this when I was in the States in January, and I can't get enough of it. I need to order another one. I just love the texture of these pencils. They're that kind of creamy sort of texture, and they just work so well. They remind me a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury ones, but a little bit more pigmented. I just think that colour is so perfect. I love a nude pink. I love the texture of the products, the lipstick, the lip pencil. They're both so nice to wear, really comfortable. I think I will treat myself and order another one because I don't want to be without this. I'm actually going to add my favourite gloss over the top. I thought I was going to leave this matte, but I've changed my mind. It is, of course, the Patrick Ta lip gloss in She's Expensive. Again, this is quite a recent favourite. I've actually just in 2019 been loving lip gloss in general. So that is a full face of my 2019 favourites. Hope you enjoyed watching this. I actually really loved going through and like picking up my favourites from this year. It's made me realise there have been so many good product launches this year. Can't wait to see what 2020 brings, but in the meantime, leave me a comment and let me know what you've been using this year. Would love to know some of your favourite products. If there's anything I haven't tried, you know I will be trying them. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!